Hey everybody, and welcome to an all-new update from Six Flags Magic Mountain. It's been a while since our last update from the park. It's last year, obviously. I want to say maybe November. So it's been a couple months here. So there's lots going on at the park that we wanted to show you. There's lots of groundwork going on for whatever it is they're putting in where the Golden Bear Theater was. Obviously, nothing is confirmed yet. Just lots of rumors and plans and things like that. And there's also a lot of off-season projects going on at the park as well. So I'll kind of walk you around the park a little bit. But before I do, make sure you click below to subscribe to our channel. As always, it is greatly appreciated. So before I get into the stuff in the actual park, I wanted to kind of do kind of a loop around the park in my head about kind of park operations at the moment. Honestly, like the park is looking really good right now. You can kind of see there's a lot of little things going on at the park, some that I'll show you in the update. But what I kind of wanted to touch on first was coasters that are open, closed, running one train, running two trains, etc. So the only coasters that I didn't see actually run today were X2, Batman, and Scream. Now, Scream could have opened. I don't know. I didn't kind of go that far over it. It wasn't open when I rode Twisted Colossus. Batman, I didn't go into DC Universe either, so it could be open. But X2 definitely was not testing or open today. And obviously Superman as well. So those four kind of seemed like they were not open today. Again, Scream and Batman definitely could have been, but not that I saw. And then everything seemed to be running at least two trains. Obviously West Coast Racers is doing 3. Colossus, Twisted Colossus was at 2. Goliath was at 2. Full Throttle was at 2. Viper was at 2. I believe Tatsu was at 2. Unless the crew was really going through and dispatching really fast, they were at 2. Apocalypse was at 2 trains. Even Gold Rusher was at 2 trains today. The only things that I saw that were only running 1 train each were both Revolution and Ninja. Those were the only ones that I could see that were only running 1 train, the 2 that I rode. So like I said, a really pleasant day at the park. The park was, the weather was beautiful. We had some rain earlier this week, so everything's nice and crisp and sunny. The park didn't seem quite as busy as I thought it would be. I mean, it's a Sunday of a holiday weekend. It could have picked up after I left. I left about 1, so I was only there from about 10:30 to 1-ish. One thing I will say is the sign out in front where it's for the diamond entrance, the sign was gone, so there was a lot of confusion of people. Apparently the wind knocked it down or something like that. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the update. All right, everybody, so let's start out here. I grabbed a quick bite at Wendy's to get some pictures and video of the new Magic Mountain sign. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. It still looks like they're doing a little bit of work here, so no word on if that shop is actually going to eventually reopen, but it looks really great. I like the new sign. I like the font. I think it looks really nice and clean, so I'm glad that they took the time to come back and redo that. Out in the parking lot, they have finally, after decades and decades and decades, put barriers between the parking lot and the tram/bus route. They're not really permanent ones, but more permanent than what's been there than those. They had the poles here, and sometimes they would have chains and things like that. They had the buses running even at 10 o'clock this morning when they were, only loading the first section of the parking lot. And then as I was leaving, I got some video of the updated colors on Tornado. I think it looks absolutely great. I like the kind of pastel colors they're going with for Hurricane Harbor. So there was work going on inside Hurricane Harbor as I walked by, both leaving and entering the park, or entering and leaving the park, but I couldn't see what was going on. But they are working in Hurricane Harbor, so it'll be nice to see what all they're doing there when the park, when Hurricane Harbor opens later on the spring. All right, so heading into the park itself, obviously the big project going on is here outside of what used to be the Golden Bear Theater. Lots of land clearing has been going on since our last update. Looks like some of the seats and stairs from the theater are still there, so lots of more work to go on that. But if you look over to the left here, just as we pass the former Q building for Logjammer, you can see either they just took out a lot of trees, or they are grading this hill down. If you look at this video from last year, it's kind of hard to tell. Obviously all the trees have been taken out, as you can see here, from what was there and what is no longer there. But it also does, it's like I said, it's kind of hard to tell, but it does look a little bit like they've taken down the size of that hill just a little bit. But obviously, again, the trees are the biggest and most glaring difference here. For this particular area. So we'll see kind of what happens here over the next few months. If it's keeps going down, we will certainly notice, obviously. So as we pan around to the other side of the site here, you can see some land movers on site, and you can see they've definitely taken down some of the hill there behind, on this side of Superman as well. And you can really see Crazanity. Almost makes you wonder if they're going to kind of cut through the mountain there and make another path between the front side of the park and the back side of the park when all is said and done. But again, that's all speculation at this point. Who knows? And obviously a lot of that probably depends on what happens with that red, blue, and yellow thing right there. So we'll keep an eye on this for a while. It's going to be a big project here coming up the rest of this year and probably into early next year. And we'll just take a walk around the site here. So you can see there's also some earth movers all the way back. Basically, kind of, if you remember Magic Mountain, if you've been going to Magic Mountain for a while, back there was kind of where the monorail track was. So kind of right behind Buccaneer a little bit. And basically between Buccaneer and Superman, there is an earth mover there as well. So really big project. The site is quite large. It would be nice if they didn't get rid of all the trees in this area and just make it another concrete jungle, but we'll keep an eye out. And moving down the other way, you can see all the way to the Superman station, as you can see up there. I rode Gold Rusher. I did not see a whole lot of work going on with Superman. Obviously, I did not take pictures or video as I was riding Gold Rusher, which is against the rules. But from this angle, again, you can really kind of see that maybe it's not just the trees they've been taking down, that they've been kind of grading the hill down a little bit. Could also be from the recent rains. It might just be flow from the loose dirt and things like that. But you can see all the way, you can see full throttle basically all the way from Bugs Bunny World now, where obviously before you couldn't because of all of the trees. New to us as well is Goliath just recently reopened from its full repaint, and you can just see right there that colors absolutely pop. Congratulations to Bainham Painting for another job well done here with Goliath. So as I was walking up, I was going to do a quick ride on Goliath right before the park opened since I had early entry. Unfortunately, it was not open, so I went over to Twist of Colossus first and then back to Goliath. But we'll take a look at what Bainham did here with the paint job all through the entrance and the queue of Goliath. All right, let's head in and take a look at the queue for Goliath. Of Goliath, as I was walking through to get my ride in. Hadn't ridden it yet this year, obviously. But yeah, you can see it's so bright and shiny. It looks brand new. Riding really good. My only, it seemed very smooth. The end brakes are still, when it kind of stops you abruptly a couple times. It would be nice if they put some magnetic brakes or something to kind of slow you gradually, even on the mid course. When they slow you down, it would be nice if it wasn't so abrupt and just kind of a nice magnetic braking system or something like that, if they could. Let's take a look at the exit of the station, I guess, into the lift hill. Also, here are the updated restrooms here for near Twisted Witches in the Screampunk area, or Steampunk. Sorry, Screampunk is for Fright Fest. Steampunk, and it wasn't even Screampunk last year. Ugh. Anyway, new restrooms look like they're pretty close to opening, so that'll be nice to have a nice new set of restrooms here in this area of the park. And then just another look around at Goliath. Up here on Samurai Summit, Superman obviously still closed. You have to wonder if we'll ever get over in that area of the park again to experience Superman Escape from Krypton. We'll see. One thing I used my free ride, since I still have my diamond, for Apocalypse. I hadn't realized, I don't know how long it's been like this, but I hadn't realized that they changed the entrance for the Flash Pass entrance for Apocalypse. Works so much better now. I was on within like 2 to 3 minutes. Absolutely no issues whatsoever. So really nice change here for the Fast Pass entrance, or excuse me, Flash Pass entrance for Apocalypse. So again, I don't know how long it's actually been there. And when I wrote Apocalypse, I did notice it looked like they were kind of tearing down the aftermath side of the 2 mazes that were here in this area for Fright Fest Extreme last year. So I couldn't tell if the zombie one, the name is escaping me at the moment, was being torn down as well. But it looked like a lot of the walls for the Apocalypse, or sorry, the aftermath side, were being torn down. So we'll see if maybe something new is coming for Fright Fest in this area of the park for Fright Fest Extreme this year. And also one last note on your season pass bottle. If you do have the Diamond or Diamond Elite and you want to get your 2025 bottle, just go into any eatery, scan your pass, and they will give you your bottle. So just keep in mind with your bottles, it even says on the bottles all of the parks in the Six Flags bottle are good at. It does not include any of the Cedar Fair parks. So it's only, here, let's go through the list. I got my bottle right here. We've got Frontier City, Hurricane Harbor, La Ronde, Six Flags America, Discovery Kingdom, Fiesta Texas, Great Adventure, Great America, Great Escape, Magic Mountain, Mexico, New England, over Georgia, over Texas, St. Louis, Whitewater, and the Great Escape Lodge. So those are not valid at Cedar Fair Park. So don't try to take your bottle to Knott's or Canada's Wonderland or however, whatever Cedar Fair Parks you're visiting this year. All right, everybody, thanks so much for watching that update. Hope you enjoyed. We'll probably be back. We probably won't be doing too many consistent updates at the park until something is really announced as far as what's coming in 2026, I guess it would be. So once we get an official announcement, we will certainly be covering that more consistently than we have been. Also, if we get any word of things that are shutting down permanently, things like that, make sure that we'll make sure that we share that with all of you, of course. All right, thanks everybody. Take care, and we will talk to you soon.